this. And Allah does this so that your mind will begin turning over and over again to try to understand the message that Allah has given. So that through your physical eyes and your ears and your flesh, that is only the beginning of a marvelous creation, this right here. And he is just watering, he is just plowing, he's just stirring up the ground of your being so that he can cause the seed that he has divinely put into you as a human to burst, allowing his real man to take form in the flesh body. Some of you don't know what I'm talking about, and I guess you don't even care. Because this world has murdered us. It has reduced most of us to animals. All we want to do is eat, sleep, and have sex. And don't understand the miracle of Prophet Muhammad. His miracle, Muhammad's miracle, is that he understood that the creation of man is in two parts. The first creation of man is your physical body. That's your first creation. And your second creation is your intellect. And this is why I point out all the time, the brothers, when they first walk in there, you see them making 2 rak'ahs. And most of us, we don't know why we're making 2 rak'ahs. And we're making 2 rak'ahs, we're asking Allah, in the first rak'ah, Allah, help me to keep this body perfect that you made. You gave me this perfect body, but you also gave me freedom. Help me, Allah, with the margin of freedom that you've given me to keep the body perfect. Allahu Akbar. Yes. So that I won't smoke a cigarette. I won't drink wine. I won't snort cocaine. This is a hell of an environment that I'm in. And it knows the avenues to reach you. And inshallah, I'm going to sit down. Your 5 senses are divinely ordered to evolve human life, to increase human excellence, and to bring human life to fulfillment. The 5 senses. That's why we have 5 prayers. That's why the adhan is called 5 times. That's why we have the first verses of the Quran, 5 verses. Because you are developed, you are evolved by your 5 senses. And I had somebody, I was giving this lecture, and somebody told me, the word got back to me, that they didn't need this talk. Because they know their 5 senses. You know, but this same person who said that to me, he smoked a cigarette. The same person who said that to me, he drinks wine. So he doesn't know his 5 senses. If his 5 senses would lead him, the 5 senses would tell you, don't put a cigarette in my mouth. The 5 senses would tell you that. Your 5 senses. You put a cigarette in your mouth your mouth tell you, don't put that in me. You put the smoke up to your nose, you choke in your nose. Am I right or wrong? Your 5 senses will tell you not to do these things. Allah. So sense perception. Listen to this language. This is new language. This is Muhammad's, the prophet's counterpart. This is not baby language. This is, if he was alive, he would be teaching like this better than me. He wouldn't leave us on Alibaba and 40 Thieves mentality. He would be challenging our intellect to compete with the world. Sense perception has been ordered by Allah to grow from the womb of mere physical expression to moral expression, to rational expression, to spiritual expression. These are your 5 senses, the gifts of Allah. And most of us use these 5 senses only as animals, like the average dog, the average cat. Make little or no progress more than animals. The majority of the people. Allah. Again, اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم. And he taught the humanity by the pen. I'm proving my position to you. Most people have problems with my talks because they have not heard these kind of talks in other masjids. So I'm proving my point to you that the emphasis is on the mind. الذي علم الإنسان, and he taught the humanity بالقلم. I'm sorry. He taught the humanity by the pen. Okay? Didn't say he taught the humanity by halal food, by halal water. بالقلم. So what is this, brothers? The emphasis is on intellect. The emphasis is on education. The Muslim Ummah is going all in from this understanding. I'm bringing you back to the Quran. The emphasis in the Quran is bil qalam, aql. Alhamdulillah. And you should not put emphasis in your masajid on anything more than this. Yes, I should dress halal. Yes, I should have this cap on. Yes, I should have this. I should have this. But the emphasis should be bil halal. Because this is where the Muslim world is hurting the most. And Allah guided Muhammad the Prophet to understand that Allah created the human being from a mind. Your mama and daddy can only produce your body. Don't be looking at anybody else. Look at me. I'm giving you the serious message. Your mother and father can only produce the body. That's all they can produce. It is Allah that produces your mind. And Allah created the human mind from a personality, from a psychological makeup of the inner person. Alhamdulillah. This is why you were given Prophet Muhammad so that you can be formed after his personality. He is the only human being that we know that was not claimed to be a God, but yet a great religious leader. Others, they say he was great, but he's the son of God. No. Allah calls our attention to see ourselves. You look in the mirror and see yourself. Not not the mustache. Don't look when you look in the mirror. Don't look in the mustache. Don't look at your shoulders in the mirror. But try to see yourselves as a product of the inner person. Not the product of your mother and father, but the product of the inside person. I'm going to ask you a question. I don't want you to talk. I want you to just shake your head. You can shake your head like this or shake your head like this. Is this information helping you or not? Let me see. Okay, all right. Muhammad the Prophet with this first 5 verses, saying that it is more important to think of yourself as a product of the inner person than the outside flesh. Then if you see this, you will preserve the strength of your nation. You want to preserve Pakistan? You want to preserve Saudi Arabia? You want to preserve Africa? You want to preserve Germany? You want to preserve the United States? We have to get the citizens of those nations to see themselves as the product of the inner person. We have to take them off of tribal and national identity. It won't save. It won't save. I'm going to show you something, and I'm going to help you to understand what I'm talking about. You see this jacket that I have on? Imagine this jacket is nationalism. You know what I mean? National or tribalism. This is my tribe that I'm from. Okay? And I'm going to use my own people so I won't offend anybody. Maybe I'm from Nigeria, right? And if I boast, or I'm from Kenya, see, I got my nationalism. I didn't say my jacket, my nationalism. And if I had my nationalism on me, more than I have my humanism. My nationalism is not strong enough to hold me up. Listen to me. Look at me. This is nationalism. You see, look at it. What happened to it? It failed. My humanism has to hold my nationalism up. Am I making the point to you? I'm a human before I'm a Nigerian. I'm a human before I'm a Sudanese. Oh, Lord. Let me say this to you to help some people. The United States has good forces and bad forces. And there's a trouble in the country with respect to some aspects of our religion. Wahhabism. Wahhabi. And the problem is, those in America are trying to explain to us what Wahhabi is. And they're not even Muslim. So I'm going to help some of you understand. Imam W.D. Muhammad said, Saudi Arabia was corrected by Muhammad the Prophet. Right? Free of idolatry. Saudi Arabia. Hundreds of years later, Saudi Arabia began to degenerate. Paganism started to come back in. In Saudi Arabia. Tribalism, racism started coming in on Saudi Arabia. There were two great leaders. One called Wahab, the other great leader, Saud. Don't talk to me. So there's two of them, two great leaders. One was a scholar in religion, and one was he was able to gather the military. And these two men, they returned Saudi Arabia to the purity of the religion of Islam. I'm giving you the true meaning of Wahhabism, okay? Not the West interpretation. I'm telling you what it was originally. Now you go and study Islamic history, you'll find out I'm telling you the truth. Okay? I don't need some Orientalist to try to interpret my religion for me. And I'm saying this to some of you because you may not know this. Okay? Before you go with something from the West, check out your own people. Oh Lord. So I needed to say that. So let me finish this right quick. We thank Allah for Muhammad the Prophet, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And dear sisters, you would not have the women's liberation movement in America if it was not for Muhammad the Prophet. Even though some Muslims, they disrespect the women, I said some, not all. But don't look at some man and judge the religion by some man. Judge the man by your religion, but not the religion by some man. You know, there's a chapter in the Quran called An-Nisa. An-Nisa means the women. And brothers, I'm talking to all of you, because you may know some men who blacken their wives' eyes, who beat their wives. So I'm giving this to you so you can give it to them, so they know me. They won't come up in the mansion. So they know I'll burn their behinds up. The chapter is called An-Nisa. I know in the Quran it says beat their wives. That's not what I'm talking about. They didn't say break their jaw. They didn't say break their arm. Okay? I know how to be there. So for those men, they need help like I needed help. I was taught in the West, macho, you're better than a woman, you're superior to a woman. This is how I was raised. Not as a Muslim, as a Christian I was raised like this. The woman's inferior. The woman is the one that made man fall. Eve ate the apple and offered it to the man. And this brought the downfall of the man. This is in the Christian West. Okay? That's not Islamic teachings. So don't bring Western misunderstanding into Islam. Don't do that. So we don't have in Al-Islam where the woman brought the man down. Not in Al-Islam. In Al-Ansar we have where the man and the woman fell down together. Allahu Akbar. Brother, if your woman brings you down, you assist it. You don't need to be the leader of the family. So in Al-Ansar, it doesn't insult you as a man. And it doesn't denigrate your wife. It says you came down together. But in Al-Ansar, the soul that Allah made in you is so powerful, your soul, until the error that Adam and Eve made could not keep them down. The soul that Allah made in the male and the female is so perfect until it earned Allah's forgiveness. And Allah gave Adam the word and forgave Adam, and Adam repented. That's the powerful soul that you have as a human being in Islam. So you mean to tell me in Islam you don't have baptism? No, we don't have baptism in Islam because the baptism of water in Islam is in the mother's womb for 9 months. For 9 months, when you're pregnant in your mother's womb, that is the baptism of water. And Allah is washing every soul, every human being, 24 hours a day, 9 months. So when the baby comes here, the baby is born without any sin. In Al-Islam. So in Al-Islam, you're not born in original sin. In Al-Islam, you're born in original innocence. In Al-Islam, you're born in original righteousness. Are you understanding me? Oh, you're not understanding. Let me show you what I'm talking about. When you make your salat, you go like this here, Allahu Akbar, and you put your hands here. You know why you put your hands here? Because Allah blessed Prophet Muhammad to know that Allah gave you the power to have self-control. You see what I'm doing here? Self-control. We didn't know this, so we needed the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad to tell us this. This means that I have self-control. I don't have to do me wrong. The power in my soul has righteousness, strength more than weakness. So I control my weakness with my righteousness. This is the Sunnah of Muhammad, the Prophet. Then we go like this, Allahu Akbar, and the hands go up to mean that I'm innocent. There is no gun in my hand. There is no knife in my hand. I'm innocent. Just like the day I was born. Allahu Akbar, and what do? I bend down. Sami Allahu liman hamidah. And Allah, surely He is whoever praises Him. And I'm going to say something that's going to make some of you upset. Sami Allahu liman hamidah. Allah hears whoever praises Him. If a Christian prays to Allah, Allah hears the Christian. Allah hears the Jew. Allah hears the dog. Allah hears the cat. Allah hears the rock. When you step on rocks, the rocks cry. They cry. Allah hears their cry. Alhamdulillah. Sami Allahu liman hamidah. And then what do? You go Allahu Akbar, you put your head just like this. See? Why you put your head like that? Because you're going back to the innocence that Allah created you in the first day He introduced you from the womb. Alhamdulillah. You can go, brother. You don't have to stay. Make it 2 rak'ahs and go. You're not going to rush me. What I'm saying is too important. This is extremely important. As I said, I'm not your traditional Imam. This is not traditional khutbah. I'm not going to keep people dumb in the religion. You're going to be educated when you come to this masjid. You're going to know why you do this and why you do that. Allahu Akbar. That's my responsibility. That's Tariq's responsibility. That's Khaled's responsibility. That's Fred's responsibility. That's Milton's responsibility. All our responsibility coming up here. We have to educate, not lullaby people to sleep. So why do we have this 4th chapter in the Quran? Nisa. It means women. If you know Arabic, it's close to the Arabic word nasayat. Nisa is close to the Arabic word nasayat. Meaning what? That Allah saw that man forgot the divine role of the woman. Man forgot. So man, Allah is telling man through this chapter that he had forgotten the society with the social image of human beings. I'm going to finish, but just listen.